what did we miss? What did I not do right? What mistake did I make? And so when you put all these pieces together, in fact, it's really even hard to know as you're getting closer and closer. You think, well, am I done? Well, you're never really done until the thing lands. You're constantly thinking about those things, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. You sort of know. I have to admit, people ask me, say, Rob, how do I know when we're actually done? We seem to be testing and testing and testing. Are we getting done? I says, well, here's the question: are we learning anything new? If we're still testing and we're not learning anything new, and it seems to be doing what we want it to do, we might very well be on the plateau. It's very much like you imagine you're climbing Mount Everest, right? You're climbing the mountain, going up higher and higher and higher, but you can't see where the summit is. It's all murky and there's clouds everywhere. But the slope is sort of leveling off. You're getting up this. It was still very steep, but eventually it gets flatter and flatter and flatter, and you go like, but you really can't see if there's another peak ahead of you. But you just say, you know what? I think I might be there. We're at the flat spot. We're at the sweet spot. Maybe we're there, but you never know for sure.
It's great that we can have these conversations about all this knowledge that you're passing on and all the information that you're learning from your own experience at JPL. And Tio on YouTube wants to know, how does JPL and NASA work to pass on generational knowledge and make sure new employees don't make the same mistakes as their predecessors?
Oh, what a great question! We have a chief knowledge officer who works with me, and she's chartered with figuring out how we do that. I tell you, it's really hard because a lot of it is storytelling. I mean, a lot of things we do. For example, we do, because we're engineers, right? Okay, well, we learned this lesson, so we write down new rules, right? New rules, a whole little rule book that goes longer. It gets longer and longer of all the things. Well, remember, you can't do this. You got to do this. You can't do this. You got to do this. But there was trouble with that style, and that's something we do a lot. Is that it misses the story, the narrative, and in some sense, the way that we really learn is by living vicariously through the experiences of others, previous generations, standing on shoulders of giants, of people who tried and succeeded, and those who tried and failed. And it's really hard to do, because guess what? We also have real jobs to do, and we don't have a lot of time. And it's really now in the time of Zoom and WebEx and Teams, it's very difficult to have those casual water cooler conversations that allow people to tell the stories. So this is a really difficult time, and so it's really hard. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure we know how to answer that question. We're still figuring it out.
Well, I love that your attitude is that we're still figuring it out. We still get to work together on these things and make improvements and learn together. Ryukachu on YouTube asks us, what's a project that's on the horizon that you're incredibly excited about? Either something right now or something that's not built yet, but's coming in the future.
Oh, we have a bunch of them. It's really exciting. The great thing about being the lab's chief engineer, I can see all the things that are going on. There's one mission we're building, which is going to go visit an asteroid out in the asteroid belt called Psyche, and this is a rock in outer space that we think was once a planetesimal, a small planet, and something. Most planets have an iron core, right? Well, something we think, we can tell from our telescopes on Earth, we think that something wiped away all the rock and left this big iron ball, this massive iron ball in the middle of space. And we think that's what it is. We're going to send a spaceship out there to go visit and confirm that's exactly what that is. If that's the case, that's the largest chunk of available iron you would find anywhere in our solar system. It's amazing. We have another mission that's going to go to in orbit around Jupiter. Jupiter, very scary place to fly around, it turns out, because it's got radiation from this. Jupiter has this amazing magnetic field, which is beautiful and powerful. But this also got moons that squirt up atoms from volcanoes, Io in particular, and that those particles get accelerated because they're charged up, and they start racing around from pole to pole around Jupiter, making this a very dangerous place to fly. It's very dangerous for people. It's even more dangerous for people. But if you're lucky, you can make electronics and put them inside vaults of lead and send them to Jupiter. But what we're going to do is go to